Yo, what's up, YouTube? Here we go again with another video for y'all, man. We back in this bitch. And today I got a different video for y'all, man. We got a red pill reaction. Now I want to start doing more content like this on the channel. I got a lot of ideas, a lot of knowledge that I want to share with you guys. And it was one clip in particular that I seen from a live stream. No, it wasn't a live stream. It was actually a podcast. And they had somebody on. His name was called Kofi Anderson or some of that nature. I'm gonna put it, right here.
If you guys look at what's needed and fill that need, money comes every time.
Okay, so that really made me think about ways in which I can provide value to the channel, and that's one of the best ways that I know how, honestly. And I got a lot of other video ideas, but I think that I want to be a part of this movement that really inspires men and helps men to wake up, especially, to have a young advocate, a nigga like me of my age being up on game and telling other young guys like, yo, this shit is real, bro. Like, I know that a lot of us when we young, we don't really get that knowledge and understanding, but this shit is real out here, and it's better to know sooner than later, or it's better to be hurt sooner than later. You feel me? Just gotta be up on game. And so we got videos like this. It's complicated. I reacted to a few videos before. Pretty solid dude. Amazing questions. So let's just get into it, man. No more talking, man. No more talking. Ads. As always, ads.
What do you think about female privilege? Is there such a thing?
Hold up, wait, why is it okay, it's a different dude, but we just gonna...
No.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
There is.
And what does it entail? Female privilege, what does it entail? What are the benefits for you as a beautiful woman like you are?
Manipulation.
Manipulation, thank you, we got it.
Wow. She is really spewing all the facts on y'all females, bro. She really throwing you under the bus right now. But nah, I believe that's true. There's such a thing as pretty privilege, and what I often see in life and what I've learned through watching videos is that the more attractive you are, the more influence you can have over people, and the more opportunities you are given to allow bullshit to get through in your life. And what I mean by to get through in your life is to basically just get away with shit, because people are going to continuously, give you chance after chance after chances, because that behavior isn't really checked. Now, for a lot of men and a lot of less attractive women, we have to come, and men in particular, we have to come face to face with reality and see shit for how it really is. But when you're attractive, your entire worldview is different. And a lot of people, they live a lot of different lives socially just based off of appearance alone. And that's something interesting to think about.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
That's exactly what we needed.
Why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men?
Wow. Female privilege, they don't have to do anything, really. They can do what they want.
How should women treat men?
Well, with respect and love, mainly respect, and then love, kindness, and relax a little. American women seem to be very uptight, very demanding, always wanting stuff but never wanting to give. The men have to give 100%. Happy wife, happy life.
It's the culture, bro. This whole I am the table mindset, bro. And, really creating this social media era, which has had negative externalities on, whole dates and relationships and shit like that. This caused women to go into relationships not feeling like they need to bring anything, bro. Like, it's just simple as that.
Happy life is the slogan. It's not happy husband, happy life, which is bullshit.
Would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
No, because if chivalry is considered holding open a door or being courteous, I think that's a human thing. I would be courteous to a man or a woman in their respect, so I don't think chivalry is necessarily gender biased.
Well, once again, when it comes to that, though, isn't chivalry part of men being expected to pay on a first date?
Chivalry is
Men
more
are typically
geared
expected
towards
to approach
women.
and ask them out and pay for the date. I mean, that's part of chivalry, right? Women don't typically do that. Men are expected to do that. So isn't that something that's exclusively favoring women?
Not in 2021, no, because I know some bold women who are taking men out on first dates.
Well, right, but do you think that's the majority?
Bro, this is one thing that I never understand. Whenever you bring up a concept about a social issue or just anything that's political, bro, what I know is a lot of people like to do, and women are in particular, and beta males, blue pills, simps, all of them, whenever you give a point that is directly rooted in logic, people tend to lean more towards the extremes of those circumstances. So let's say, for example, let me think of an example. Okay, let's bring up, for example, options. And so, you know that it's very easy for a lot of women to get options, especially due to the social media age and everything being connected and shit like that. And so, you know, the argument that can be made is that a lot of guys have a hard time, you know, struggling to be in relationships to keep those women because of their, you know, hypergamous nature and always, you know, monkey branch onto the next option. And so, you know, women nowadays, they have more options than ever when it comes to choosing a particular partner, but it's now on the opposite the opposite spectrum for men. Men are now struggling to get the amount of options that they would have had, let's say, you know, 20 or 30 years ago. And, you know, when you set an example like that up, women would like to bring out something of the nature of, well, you know, men are getting laid too, men are having options too, but you're talking about the small minority in this situation and not the overall generalization, because generalizations, people don't like to accept the fact that generalizations, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they are absolutely necessary in order to solve problems, because there will always be an exclusion from the rule, no matter what you lay out, because obviously humans are different and there's always going to be outliers and shit like that. So, you know, there's always going to be an exception. So instead of pointing out exceptions, point out what happens most of the time, what happens more often, so then that way you can be able to accurately detail, you know, the most common perspective for most men and most women.
I mean,
No,
does the exception
I'm not.
disprove the rule?
Because I'm not doing it.
Can you name some controversial women's issues?
Equal pay, abortion. Yeah.
Fucking guys. The wage gap is a myth, bro. I don't know where y'all get y'all information from, but the wage gap is a myth. Do not fall into that shit. I'll probably touch on it in another video, but the wage gap, no, this shit ain't real, bro. And I've had this debate with many females before, and they never believe me, but this shit is a myth, bro. This shit is a myth.
Yeah, abortion for sure. Equal pay.
Abortion would be a controversial woman's issue. Sexual freedom, sexual immorality almost. Women can have the freedom to do what they want. Men have to be on a leash or under control, or we're basically we're subservient to women in the last 50 to 60 years. Our culture has gone that direction.
You have balls, right? That's where the sperm comes from. That's needed to put in the egg. That's your reproduction system. What the fuck?
But if it, hold on.
You don't want a kid?
Okay.
Then wear a condom. You don't want a kid? Then it's so easy to put that little clip in your balls that you can take off at any time when you want to have children. Why is it that a woman can only have one kid per 9 months and it's regulated her, but a man can have he can impregnate 12 women a day if he wants?
That's because, excuse me, y'all, but bro, men and women are innately different, bro. Our reproductive systems are different, because I feel like we get so caught up in this modern world, and you know, you know, the fact that we're such conscious, godlike beings that we don't really accept the fact that at the end of the day, we're still animals, bro. We're still primal beings. And the whole point of men being able to have sex or reproduce with as many women as possible is so in that way, the most high value men can spread their seed to maximize the best potential of survival among the species or, you know, that tribe. And so the male being able to spread their seed was necessary. And I just feel like a lot of people, they just get so caught up in worldly things, but we need to get back to our roots and understand, you know, who we are internally, but also from a primal perspective, because that's the way that a lot of relationships work.
Why are we regulated but men not? Make that make sense, because it's the patriarchy that's put in play.
Let me ask you this. Is a man solely responsible for getting a woman pregnant, or does it take two people? It takes two people. So why is the man solely held accountable and not the woman for also inviting the man to have sex? Because women choose.
So the man is held accountable because he has to pay.
Who they have sex
because
with.
he has to pay for producing a life, but the woman who spends her entire life now dedicated to building the life of that kid, so he can't take some dollars out of her account, but her life changes because she has a kid? That doesn't make sense.
Can you name any men?
This is the college life, bro. The propaganda that's spread through the media, bro. The social conditioning, bro. That just spews complete utter lies, bro. Utter lies that don't benefit anyone, bro. At the end of the day, like, we're really hurting ourselves, bro. Just look around. Take a look at society, bro. It's like, when you look at it, the roles have really been reversing, bro. The women have been more masculine. The men have been more feminine. And there's been such a breakdown of traditional values and the things that have worked for years and years. And now that, you know, we've been flipping shit, switching around, you see people more confused than ever. Like, people more depressed, anxious, confused, insecure. And it's like, you know, you're not really helping anybody, bro. You're really not. Like, I could talk about this shit forever. We only 3 minutes and 40 seconds in the vid, bro.
Men's issues.
They don't have issues. I would say sexual abuse. Yeah, domestic abuse. Domestic abuse. They get domestic abuse. Yeah.
A husband who gets divorced from his wife, it seems like men don't have any rights. They have no rights when it comes to children. And keeping the children, the women get the benefit of the doubt, which is wrong. Equal justice. Justice needs to be blind, but I think in the courts and in every aspect of life, women get the benefit of the doubt, the blessings, they get the open doors. Men have to fight through the fire just to even get their kids.
The WNBA, the pay, WNBA pay, as compared to like men's basketball.
You're talking.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Bro, men and women are in the NBA and the WNBA are not going to get paid the same for very obvious reasons, bro. You have to think about the level that they're playing at, the amount of attention and resources that's put into the games, bro. It's just a lot of different things, bro. When you think about the NBA and the WNBA, two completely separate identities, bro. And how can you equivalate what? It doesn't make sense, bro. Y'all feel me? It really, like, I don't know where he got this shit from, but you can tell he ain't been on no fap, bro. He ain't getting enough downloads because I don't know what the fuck he got going on, for real.
You're talking about, like, the gender pay gap, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can you name any men's
Once
issues?
again, it doesn't exist.
I would say, like, men's issues, toxicity, I don't know, like, I have no clue.
Okay. Why do you think so many more people know about women's issues more than they know about men's issues?
Cause I don't know. I feel like there's more females in the world than there are men. They're more talked about, more thought about.
Let me just leave you with this, okay? Here are just some of the men's issues that I'll list off, okay?
All right.
Men happen to be the majority of suicide, the majority of homeless, the majority of workplace deaths, The family court system is biased against men. False paternity, false accusations, prison sentencing disparity, failure in education, health issues, and male abuse.
Yes.
Why do you think that so many people aren't aware of men's issues?
I think men don't stand up for themselves. If a man is a victim of domestic violence or domestic abuse, he's not going to report it to the police. And if you call the police, they'll arrest you more than likely than the woman.
That's true, but I would also have to disagree, because I believe that men do stand up for themselves, but their voices aren't necessarily heard. When you think about it from a media standpoint, bro, like, women completely dominate the entertainment industry, the media, all that shit. And by entertainment, I mean like the television and shit like that, the media. And, you know, it just seems as if those issues tend to get suppressed. Like, think about the Lil Lotus situation. They just kind of, you know, rest in peace to bro, but they swept that shit under the rug and act like it was nothing, bro. Like, male issues aren't talked about in the media. And, you know, we have voices, but it's just like people don't really, you know, want to focus and discuss on that shit. Instead, we want to continue pandering to the woman. And I don't think that it doesn't really bring equality in a sense, bro. It just brings a false pedestalization of women in our culture that leads a lot of, you know, women to be shockingly struck with reality, you know, in their coming decades when they get hit with that wall, nigga. That wall fuck you up. The wall is when you have your midlife crisis. For a man, it's different for your midlife crisis from a woman. That wall, undefeated, nigga. That shit goddamn 1 billion and over.
So men don't speak up. Men are taught to hide their emotions and suppress their emotions, and it's dangerous for men. It's dangerous for everybody, but
some men have insecurities.
Egos.
Their egos, their pride.
I would say mental health as well. Like, men are definitely less likely to admit or get help for mental issues, which is really sad.
It's often said life isn't fair. Who is more likely to be expected to accept injustice, men or women?
Women.
If it's not men,
I feel like it's men.
If it's not men, why do we have the expression "take it like a man"?
We have the expression "take it like a man" because men face way more discrimination and injustice on an everyday basis than women do. Suck it up, women. But my God, to honest opinion is that men go through a lot more. They're not accepted in so many areas that women are. Just like we're married, by the way, and gay women are twice as much accepted as gay men are. They're shunned.
Could it ever be possible for women to hold too much power in society?
Yes, we're seeing it now. We're witnessing it now.
Okay, so why is it possible for men to hold too much power in society?
Because I feel like everything is like shaped for them.
I honestly don't think men thought this all the way through when they came up with this whole patriarchal society, because I mean, they want to run the world, but they will usually go home to women who more than likely were the backbone of everything that they were built on as a man. But their lack of wanting to give women that respect where we echo in hallways that we should have already echoed in, they built the society on that, not thinking that one day women will wake up and not want to play by their rules anymore. So, I mean, I feel like it's just your karma, baby. Get over it. You thought it was going to be one.
Okay. Karma. And you see, pay attention to what's going on in society. And y'all want to say it's karma. Y'all think that's a good idea to break away from traditional values. Now, you can do whatever the hell you want with your life, but me personally, and, you know, I try to stay objective as possible, but I will give my opinion on this. I don't think that it's a good idea to stray away from traditional values. If it is like, bro, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro. Simple as that. And, you know, we're now witnessing the outcome of shit like this and the behavior that has afflicted our culture. We can compare America to a lot of other, you know, second in third world countries, even though they may not be as progressive or as modernized, they hold traditional family values for survival, bro. And you can tell that there's a far greater satisfaction when it comes to family and togetherness when people play their roles correctly. Simple as that.
Be one way.
Well, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna just go ahead and let this shit play for the next, 2 minutes or so, cause we are already 20 minutes in.
It's gonna be this quiet little kept society, and we're frankly the shit, and y'all just don't want to give us our dues.
Is it possible to be pro-men without being anti-woman?
Exactly, that's possible. Just like I'm pro-black without being anti-white.
I'm white and I'm pro-black.
Are male feminists selling out their own gender?
Fuck no. Same
That's
thing.
not the
Like,
same.
can we be like
That's not. You said I'm white and I'm pro.
Male
No,
feminists selling out their own gender?
she meant to say. I don't know if she really meant to say this, but you can be pro-white and still support black people, bro. Okay. To all my white viewers, bro, all my Caucasians who probably ain't watching my video because I only get like 10, 15 views a video. But for all y'all watching, bro, it's okay to be pro-white and not be anti. Like you can be too, bro. Support your people, support, your race, bro. Like why wouldn't you? Don't let them teach you to hate yourself, bro. Love yourself for real. Love yourself.
fuck no. Same thing. Like, can we be like female maleists?
Well, can you do that without being, selling out your gender?
Hell yeah. I can embrace my womanhood and still protect you.
We should embrace our masculine.
I'll kick a girl's ass to try to touch you, man. I got you, man.
I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about equality, why isn't there equal representation of both men and women's issues?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
It should be brought up, but it's not.
Why don't the good, decent women of the world regularly call out and shame the trash women for how they treat men?
They should. They most definitely should.
But do they?
No, absolutely not. And
Why
that's
not?
the problem. Because
Girl
I think
code.
a big part of it is victim accountability. Like, a lot of men don't speak up for themselves, so women feel like, well, we shouldn't speak up for them, and that's kind of wrong. Like, that's all the way wrong. Just because they don't speak up for themselves doesn't mean we shouldn't speak up for them.
But don't women want men to speak up on behalf of women?
Absolutely. We
so,
do.
So why shouldn't it go both ways?
We are. We're speaking up for you guys. We're not going to let this happen. Or if you guys are being touched inappropriately, you tell someone, we'll stick up for you.
Is it possible for women to be strong and independent, but also victims?
Sure, all the time. That seems to be the default mode, is that women are always victims, but yet they're strong
Default
and confident.
mode.
They're queens, they're in charge. They have all the rights and all the privilege. It's female privilege. It has nothing to do with white male privilege or any of that. It's female privilege that rules the world. Men don't rule the world. This isn't a patriarchal society or world. Women are in control, period.
Why can't men ever be seen as victims of women?
Men are taught to be strong. Women are taught to be sensitive and vulnerable. And that's necessary, of course, when you're raising children, etc. And for relationships. Women need a strong man in their life, and men need a sensitive, intelligent woman who's not subservient, but we're equal in different ways.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? That a man's weakness is the facade of his strength, while a woman's strength is the facade of her weakness.
That's a genius, mind-blowing question. I don't even want to comment on that. That stands alone.
Can
That's
you explain what that means?
Read it to me one more time, please.
Okay. A man's weakness is the facade of his strength, while a woman's strength is the facade of her weakness.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna end the video right there, man. So, yeah, it's a real interesting concept, Shout out to Itscomplicated, man, for sure. I hope they don't, copyright strike this. I really, appreciate the enlightening content, the question that you asked. You're really challenging the community and challenging the way people think. So, I appreciate it. And, we got more videos to react to, man. I'm definitely going to be back to the channel. So, y'all stay tuned for that. A lot of different type of videos coming up. So, yeah, just stay tuned for it. You feel me? But anyways, man, that's the end of the video, man. We gone for sure. You know how I go. All right, y'all, 100, man.